lava, malole soifua maumalangi rā, and a warm Pacific greetings to you who have tuned in this morning. Man, it's a little bit chilly, but not too bad this morning. We've got our awesome and our beautiful host this morning, Miss Hana Schmidt here, and of course, CEO number one, Mr. Matan Anai here for Bluwave, and our very special guest today. None other than the celebrity number one. Let's ask him for the time, Mr. Wolf, Asiata, Pea Vaoliko.
Kia ora.
Good morning, everyone.
What's the time this morning, Asiata?
Actually, with my Matauina.
Could we zoom in on that, please?
Good morning,
Good
girls,
morning.
beautiful girls, as well as Mr. Bossman.
Morning.
Le whiona anai fui mono maten, malo se fu moa, malo fulau ni te au.
Man, how are you guys this morning?
Good. It's been a good morning. Had some good breakfast and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, that $30 breakfast.
But to be honest, I'm not a morning person. As you all know, I do the afternoon show, which is the last show. But thanks for waking me up so early.
You're very welcome.
To come and be part of this special force. So, yeah.
It's nice to see you this morning, though, Asiata.
Yeah, hopefully once blue moon, I'll get to wake up.
As you know, if you've been following the Pacific Morning Show, we always start off with a positive quote or just a quote to wake you up this morning and to, food for thought every single time we have the Pacific Morning Show. And today we thought we would cross over to Martin to share with us his morning quote, and then we will dissect it from there.
My morning quote would be, stay positive, have a positive mindset. No matter what you're going through, just think positive and try to think of the solution instead of the problem.
Ooh,
Are you aiming that at me?
Every single staff.
Is that why you're wearing white? White jumper today because...
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely
positive.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I know that when you have a positive mindset, everything is a lot better.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to slash out those other parts and just find a solution. But did you see me before? When I was just a little bit on edge, and then all of a sudden I was positive and I was,
Yeah. Give
Like,
it.
It's not new. It'll pass.
Yeah.
But just stay positive. I think Ryan said that in one of the first episodes for this program. You at the time you think it's a big problem, but then when you look a month or two later, man, I was, just stay
Stressing
positive.
for no reason.
yeah.
No, that's a good quote.
Yeah,
Sweet.
good quote.
I'll go into my one. It doesn't matter how slow you go as long as you do not stop.
Oh.
That's my quote today. So,
Like that.
yeah, don't be too intimidated. Don't try and get somewhere fast.
That's why Hana comes into work at 11.
I have finished the race.
Guys, let's not turn this into a roasting
I
session.
have kept the faith.
I love
I
it.
finished the race.
Yeah. Focus on finishing the race. Don't focus on being the fastest.
Yeah, I fought a
Gala.
good fight.
Because the small movements, right? Always gets you still get the job done. Right?
Exactly.
Nice.
At
I
11.
like that. Slow and sure.
Yeah.
Slow
and sure.
and sure. Finish the race.
Let's go.
Oh, I don't know what it is with me and love, but okay, here we go again. Pea, never pass up the chance to say I love you because tomorrow is never promised. It's pretty straightforward.
Sounds like
but
Romeo and Juliet.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say Romeo and Juliet. No, I'm just saying that. I'm glad that you were able to laugh and find laughter in that.
Yes.
No. And this is just every day.
I
Your
love you.
children. See?
Love is in
How did that
here.
feel?
I love your watch, Asiata.
Oh, yeah.
That felt great.
Can I say I love my watch?
Yeah, I love your watch too,
Yes.
Asiata. But I love.
I love you too.
I love you too.
It's
I
good to
love
say
it,
it to
man.
everyone,
Absolutely.
But I know that there's sometimes, I think the word love is used often and, not properly. But I don't think there is. I think that, it could be anything and you could really brighten up someone's day.
Exactly.
You never know because that could be the last thing that you say to that person.
Yeah.
But can you add in front of the love? I'm in love.
Well, you can't because you're married.
I'm in love with,
But yes,
I'm in love with
yes.
the watch.
You're in love with your
Yes.
watch. But that's it. Well, let's move over to Mr. Matai over here. And
He's been making fun of all of our
time
quotes.
first. Okay, well, positive quote for you and for all of us. Yesterday is gone. Learn from it. The future is ahead. Prepare for it. The present is here. Let's live in it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Uruguay.
Wow.
What's the cartoon guy in that movie?
Uruguay. From Kung Fu Panda.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
obviously, whatever's gone in the past, it's gone. We can't bring it back. We can't fix it. Let's learn from it.
Yeah.
Move on.
The future is ahead. Prepare for it. That's all we can do is preparations. But what's now, we need to live in it. Make the most of it. Be positive. Have the love. Finish the race. There you go.
Maengai mukmuk nga afaya makalkaya.
Yeah.
Was that right? Like right what I
Yes,
said?
absolutely. Mo nga afa, yes, absolutely. Pasa mo mga yan, you know, these are some thoughtful messages and positive messages for
I
everybody.
really, really love that quote, Asiata. I feel like, yeah,
Hacking me. Well, after
I'm
this,
in love
after
with your watch.
No, but yes, you know, all of us, we've got pasts and stuff like that. So we've learned from our mistakes.
There's a question, and you're probably thinking, where's Ryan this morning? Where's Ryan this morning?
Oh yeah, where's Ryan?
You know what?
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan is unfortunately flying down. No, no. This morning, of course, Ryan is working behind the scenes. We've just, had a lot of inquiries come through for work. So, we've got all of the production side of Bluwave that we also need to be mindful for. So Ryan is actually the man who is usually behind the scenes and does all of the editing. And so if you're looking for someone to do your live stream in the morning or any, ads, you know where to go, Bluwave. Unfortunately, we've got a nice...
Unfortunately,
Sorry,
we have Martin.
I apologize. I love you. That help? Sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
We do have Martin
Okay.
here this morning, so we need our production team to, you always have to keep it running.
Yeah.
So.
And also this show, you're going to get a lot of this. Like, this is not like we randomly took Martin on. We actually love these discourse.
There's no one else.
Unfortunately.
We actually love this kind of discourse where we get, look, we're all different ages and different sizes and things like that. But what we're saying is we want these different perspectives. So you're going to get this a lot on our show, on our Pacific morning show. So yeah, I just thought I'd add that.
Yeah.
2 cents in.
But I do miss Ryan this morning. He makes great coffee.
He does.
Yes,
Thanks,
yes.
Ryan.
Well, warm Pacific greetings to everyone who is tuning in and watching. Kia ora, talofa, pulavinaka. Help me, fellas. Malo lelei, konnichiwa, what are others?
Nisapula.
Kia orana, nisampula.
Whakalofalai.
Wow,
Whakalofalai to all of you. Because it's a Pacific morning show. So
And you know
obviously
what?
it's for
This is
Pacific.
why you're the celebrity of our afternoon show.
Oh, I love you, Pea. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
No worries.
But
There's a lot of love in the studio
A
today.
lot of love.
A lot of love in the studio this morning. And the next song, we're going to go into a quick break. Reminds me of that quack echo. Into a quick break. Richard Parker, Polynesian Girl, a cover by Unique 7 Band. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking the DMCs with Asiata when we get back.
My Polynesian girl, you are my life. One day you'll be my wife. Your love will always be mine until the end of time. My Polynesian girl, you are the one. Been sent from heaven above. There's no one else in my heart. My Polynesian love. Uapele yoma. Sungalo la lele. Olea olamoni. Oleo langane. Waletioa Solomona Nato ilalo ileolofa Na yomo ya vaivea Oema Aumana mea My Polynesian girl, you are my life. One day you'll be my wife. There's no one else in my heart until the end of time. My Polynesian girl, you are the one been sent from a heaven above. There's no one else in my heart. My Polynesian love. Perfeito, olha langi. Mafunga ola no. O te fa tu saina. Io lao. Nella male masina. E feio folinga. Ushushuia soma. Iyo lava. Neyunga. Hey! My Polynesian girl, you are my life. One day you'll be my wife. There's no one else in my heart until the end of time.
Good morning and welcome back to our Pacific Morning Show. We hope you guys are all having a beautiful morning, getting to work safely, driving safely, and getting what needs to be done this morning. So today we have an amazing guest and our host of honor, Martin and I here on the show, and our guest, Asiata, Pea Vaoliko, who is our BluwaveTV host and founder of the Lupe Fafoi Vau Ese class. So welcome to our show, everyone. And let's get straight into it. So Asiata is a very well-versed cultural advisor, experienced straight out of the village. He knows what he's talking about, and he's done a lot of research and work into Fa'a Samoa and Gangana Samoa. Right, Asiata?
Yes, good morning, Hana. Good morning, Pea, as well as Whionga Nai. Good morning. First of all, I'm glad that I'm one of the guests to be invited onto your beautiful, beautiful Pacifica Good Morning show. But yes, I am Samoan. First of all, mum and dad, both Samoan. Born, bred in Samoa, finished all my educations and got title Matauina in Samoa before I moved to New Zealand, 2005. And so I've always fascinated about my Fa'a Samoa. It's my treasure, you know, next to my parents and my family.
It's who you are.
Yes, it's me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I breathe. It's the air that I breathe. When you do have a sound understanding of your Fa'a Samoa, and then it makes it a lot easier for you to live and act upon it. Not only that you know, but you live your life the way it is. And then, yeah, it goes for all of us. But yeah, I do have a good understanding of it. May not be the perfect as others, but yeah, good enough to help others and help our community and our families as well.
Then that's amazing. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and sharing the passion that you have for this. So our first question is, how relevant is Fa'a Samoa in this day and age in countries like New Zealand, Australia, countries away from Samoa?
Yes, it is absolutely relevant, Hana, and our show. Probably you're trying to say this in Samoan, so I can explain it probably more, and hopefully you can get subtitles for the rest of the for all our viewers. E tāua te le whasamoa ia tunu I whafo. E sipela ai po ai lo tangata, e lo ai lo tamalianga, e lo ai lo tupuanga, e lo ai fo I lo whasinomanga. O tātou o tangata I o tātou whasinomanga I Samoa, I me sina umia I tātou. E le mawhailono e se me Samoa, momotu e se loa lo whasinomanga whasamoa. E pea leo o le tangata e peo le Vaai lungo le sami e fitongi ia pea o le e se taula. Pea peo le e fili you decided to cut yourself out of your identifications, your belongings, your environment I Samoa. So it is important, it's relevant for us to leave. E lo oi lau tū o lau savali o lau tautala. You know, e loa, that's who you are. E whataua fo I oe le tangata Samoa ia tunu I whafo. E longo fia I fo I oe. You know, e fisosoani ia te oe mea uma. O lo whasinomanga, ma mea te whaia. O le tapasale na o lo uolanga ia tunu I whafo. E o malau tautua. E o ngā tutonu le lofa I mea uma I te whaia. Tātou te ngalo lue I whatasi. Fisosoani le isi I le tasi. You know, ele upa Samoa mativa whaafisangai. We may poor, but if we help each other, we can be stronger. We can achieve, we can make things, we can build things, big things, if we stand together as family. So that's why I believe, and I know for a fact, it's relevant to have our Samoa practices in overseas.
Yeah.
And it's also important, isn't it, Asiata? Because I'm one of your students in your Samoan language class. You normally mention the quote from Professor
Fanafi. Absolutely. Fanafi always once said this, and it's a famous quote that everyone knows this. Ale ese ngana, ele ese nganu, ale ese nganu, ua pole nu. Once we lose the language, there's no culture. And once there's no culture, there's no more us. Then you don't know what you call yourself for. You know, we are probably people that are lost in this country without identifications. But yes, it is relevant for us. Because of the lack of understanding.
Yeah, lack of knowledge as well.
Knowledge,
But
yes.
just before we get into that one, Asiata, I was just watching you guys' program of Jeremy, Palangi Boy. O le mga ia le whamakalanga me o Jeremy, how he learnt the language. He used to work at a hardware store, and the Samoans, because he was an American Samoan, so, story goes, the American Samoan people will come up to him and speak in Samoan. His frustration was, he didn't know how to answer back. So he just he went on a learning, he tried to learn the Samoa, how to talk and how to respond. And it was hard. I remember him saying it was hard, like he had challenges to it. But it's the fact that he was consistent. And
you know, me as a cultural advisor, as a Samoan, I am super proud of him. You know, he's a Palangi.
No Samoan blood, yeah.
Connections. Pure Palangi. Ole uputusa. Ole mtuali leia alfa Samoa. Le songa ya Palangi Poipo Jeremy.
Yeah.
Mafua, ona olona nau tai. E te loa, I speak Filipino. Because I was a Mormon missionary in the Philippines for nearly 3 years. So it wasn't easy for me to learn the language as well. But the willingness and the effort that and yet it wasn't my mother tongue. So it's the same commitments that I can challenge all of Samoan, New Zealand born or the one that were born in Samoa and seems not to willingly to learn the language. Hence why I've established the Lupe Foivau issue with some of the Matais. Is to help them. You have to have the willingness. You have to have that bonus willingness to learn. This is me. This year is my year of learning my language. If you have that commitment, you can do it.
Right.
You can definitely do it. And once you speak it, I bet you $1 million, you will love practicing it. You will start to attending all the Samoan functions. You will start to like sitting in wedding, even though they're long. You're starting to sit in funerals and listen to Matai's conversate with Te Launga. Why? Because you have that extra commitments. Okay, open that door for you. And that's my main advice.
Right.
You gotta have to open that door of learning. Even if it's a little bit, what do you call little bit of that, open it. And let that light of your language come in. And once that gets in, I'm telling you, it's just like the sunshine. The rays of the sun comes in and hits you, and you just want, now enough sleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up.
I want to feel like that.
Asiata, like I just want to say, like for those who are listening in and tuning in, what Asiata means is that once you come to the class, it's not like you're gonna like learn straight away and then I think the Samoan level where Jeremy is at, it's basic understanding.
Yes.
Basic polele kaukala Jeremy. So there's the Fasamo, how is it? There's the Fa'anganu.
Yeah, there's a ngana tautala, everyday conversations. And that's where Jeremy comes in. You know, Palangi boy, to be honest, when we were in Samoa, sometimes I try to ngangu to him. You know, it's just like, you know, you get carried away. He's Palangi. So, I'll fasa more. Come on. Message. Also, where are you? In Mageki.
Yeah.
Can you catch a taxi to where I am? Yeah, they'll also call taxi. Like, that's his reply. Wow, you know, but it's so good for him. So he had that language enough for conversation. Ngana tautala, ole ngana waso uma, ole ngana fa'afailaunga, ngana fa'aloalo. O nganga yem fa'ona ito, ngana waso uma. Ia ngana lem fa'yenka ko pe kau slang long fainga. But waso sekia, you know, it's a spoken language every day. Ngana fa'aloalo e mai o pea le nei tae. E mai lo waso lo fionga nai. Ia ngana fa'aloalo le na ngai ki ka it's a formal fa'aloalo. Ngana fa'afailaunga, well, it's an oratory language. And if I say it probably you'll be like, did he just swear on the program?
No,
but you know,
Asiata, you teach all of this at your school.
Absolutely.
Before your school, o me sa o ile aunga fife au mala sa.
Definitely from Sunday schools, from primary school, but first and foremost was from your family, from within your family. You know, if you're watching this program this morning, and if you have your grandparents still alive, you know, I'm telling you, go talk to them, chat with them. That's a very, very good language studies for you, Tupulanga. I mean, sometimes you may not find comfortable chatting with your parents nowadays because you know, to be honest, you know, practice makes perfect. So it'll pass along le carrying or the language studies. Alula o le kamakiki. Alwe e kalangoa your grandparents. If your grandparents are, because that what makes me, you know, so improve from back when I was young. Okay, kalangoa your grandparents.
Right.
And you know something funny, I said, like these two girls, like on my left, on your right, Pea and Hana, they're New Zealand born Samoans. E sea fa longo I lo ko lo ia fa Samoa kongolo fisa. A ola ngai fake. Oh. Like where's that coming from?
Absolutely, yeah. And this is one of the things in terms of harsh words, you know, swear words, you know, golden words.
I didn't swear. I'm saved by our Lord and Christ Jesus.
But that's right, because I know that even at home, the first thing, awa. And someone actually brought this up I think it was probably last year. This is probably why our young children to speak Samoan, because every time we use the language in our homes, it's always remote. You know, it's always No, my malo I lea. You know, and maybe that's probably why there's such a disconnection. Like,
Well,
why
Yeah,
not?
can we talk now? I wanted to talk about that
Yeah.
disconnection problem because heaps of Samoans, I'm just going to refer to Samoans, that live overseas feel really disconnected to their culture. And that's probably one of the reasons Bea said. So what does it actually mean to be Samoan? Because some Samoans overseas think, I'm Samoan, even though I don't speak Samoan, or I'm Samoan because my dad is 2% Samoan or something like that. But as a cultural advisor, what does it mean to be Samoan?
Well, to be Samoan is to be proud of who you are. You know, to be proud of your culture, to be proud of the things that surround your surrounding as within your family. You can't just say, I mean, I'm Samoan, but I disagree with giving to my family. I disagree with helping with my cousin's wedding, my sister's wedding. I disagree with paying my tithings as a part of our family commitments to our church willingly. So it's a whole package that comes with our Samoa. So I mean, I don't see the point where you just say, okay, I'm Samoan probably by blood, because yes, you are Samoan. Otherwise, you can't be called Palangi because the color of your skin. But being Samoan is to leave your culture.
Right.
You know, and now people think once we leave the culture, they automatically thinking of Falavilavi.
Yeah.
Because and thing okay to add on with what Pea was saying. Disconnect because we parents use it as a weaponry. It's like it's we kind of like weaponizing. Go. You know, sorry, I have to say some of those. So our children feel like, okay, so this is the Samoan language. It comes with it's threatening.
And it's repetitive too.
Yes, it's a harsh language. It's there's no need for me then, because that's quite harsh. You know, we are known. The attribute of our culture is love, kindness, sharing. You know, there's a saying, sharing is caring. That is one of the Samoa ways of living. All I have to come to you, Bea, please, can I have a salt for... Yeah, e mamuru. Palangi, no pay. No, ele mamuru se mea. So, au kākoula, we vice versa it. We seems to change that through the eyes of our kids. And that's where our kids feel unsafe, maybe, or feel like, no. I think I feel more love with my friends and things like that, rather than, or with the Palangi language, rather than this harsh language. So the advice for us parents, because I'm a parent, we're all parents, is maybe the way you're using your language to communicate to your children is not right.
Yeah, because a lot of going back to the Samoan disconnection thing, a lot of people associate fa'alavelave with burden. They think, my parents are asking for money, I'm broke all the time. But I wanted to get into that. Like, could you explain and break down to us the giving to the church and fa'alavelaves? And who's in charge? Like, obviously, if your parent comes to you and say, hey, you need $400 this weekend, so we have to give it to our cousins. And the kid is sad because his pay is $500 and $400 goes and he gets to keep $100. Who does that kid get angry at?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to say this clear. Fa'alavelave is not burden if you have a good understanding about our culture. That's and here it goes. When there's fa'alavelave, obviously, the first person that we look up to is the matai, the sa'o of your family. The high chief or the chief that is looking after the family. They're all eyes on it. And then stand all up to him and his divisions of our family, how much you're going to contribute into this fa'alavelave. Now, it is him that his decision determines the burden and the lightness that the family will carry through that particular fa'alavelave. Now, but I wanted to bring back into the differences between fa'alavelave through the culture and your commitments to the church. Now, your commitment, because we're Christianity, and ever since Christianity comes to Samoa, it feels like it overtook the culture in all levels that we do. So you have your tithing. For example, I'll use myself as an example. We have our tithing, we have our offering. Because we normally don't do the lealofa, for the 5 years. So we do the tithing and offerings, right? For example, if my tithing every Sunday is 100, my 150, my offering is 100. So you're looking at 250 every Sundays. Now, because we're trying to measure the word burden, right here, and so it's easier so consistently every Sunday you are willingly giving 250 for your tithing and offering. How many weeks a year? 56.
52.
52. So you do the calculations. 250 times 52.
That's a holiday.
Yeah. I mean, you can take your family everywhere. Like,
You're going to get into heaven.
Right? Now, see, that's, and then we hardly mourn about that, saying it's a burden.
Yeah.
On the other hand, leaves the culture. Where Fa'alavelave wedding, how many cousins get married in a year? Probably 3. How many family members die in a year? Probably 2. So it's a total of 5. Fa'alavelave. Happen in like once every 2 months or 3 months. I mean, if I tally up my money contribute into all this total Fa'alavelave, probably a couple of thousand. As a matai, I'm talking about as a matai, or 1,500. But for my nieces and nephews to contribute, because they've got their own families, probably the max up 500 a year.
Per annum.
Per annum.
So there's a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Misconception for the lack of understanding. And I think, just to add on to what Asiata's saying, if you're listening and you're not really familiar with how the culture protocols work,
Yeah.
ask.
Yes.
Ask the matai in your family. You have a right to ask.
Yeah.
And because what happens is when you don't ask, then you start assuming, and then you start saying all of these things.
Really bad things.
Really bad things. Because, like, I spoke to someone who didn't want to learn Samoan because that person immediately connected it with money.
Yeah.
Being a Samoan. And I was really sad in that view. I don't know what his experiences were with his family or the people that he was around, but it was really sad because I know for a fact,
Yes.
and I hate the word wha'alavelave. It's more shoswangi. And we do this almost every month, but it's not something you could burden, because I like the example you said, just say, ask
Yes.
for.
Absolutely, Anai. For example, back in the days, families were small in groups because so let's take, for example, 30 years ago, 4 of us. Maliu mai loa, and then our sa'o le ainga o the matai goes, Vaoliko. We need povi oe, povi. Because it's only us, we don't have children. So yes, maybe it was a bit heavier back then, but hey, due to the number of people in our family, yes, we probably understand it. It's understandable. Then 15, 20 years later, you've got 10 kids. You've got 12 kids. I've got 11 kids. He's got 7 kids, for example. Hey, so is having a povi a burden still? Where you can just look at, because nowadays we don't do povi, we do pusa pisupo. We narrow those things down. Because povi back then, it's equivalent to a pusa pisupo nowadays. So you and your 10 kids having one pusa pisupo, and you're still saying it's a burden?
The more hands, the merrier.
Absolutely. And then, you know what? That's the beauty. And I must say this, that's the beauty of Samoa.
Yeah, I think that's such a beautiful practice.
Absolutely.
I don't see it being practiced in Western cultures. Usually people are forking out loans to pay for their own funerals, or even when looking after people, they give them to other.
So if nowadays there's a wha'alavelave now, and then the Makai goes, Yeah, okay, mga mia se afe from all of us. And then we come and sit down, okay, lua se lau, lua se lau, lua se lau, lua se lau. That's 800. Now, and you have your own kids to turn to.
Yeah.
If you have 8 kids, probably 20 might come and kiki.
Yeah.
Look at how light it is. But because we need to erase this mentality, this mindset. Oh,
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
we go.
But
again.
like, in you saying that, Asiata, why, because people have a lack of understanding of their culture, what is your advice for people who have that mindset? Who should they go to? Should they go to their parents? They can definitely come to your school for sure, but in their family, who should they go to clear up some of these understandings?
Absolutely. I mean, parents, obviously, your primary point of contact at first. If you feel like your parents have the same lacking understanding as you are, if your grandparents are there, otherwise, seek for your chiefs. Matai yolo ainga, because all of us have matai to go to. And if not, surely we have elderlies in our church. You know,
That's a good one.
Yeah, you can just inquire those before you come to join Lupe for
I just also want to clarify that it's not only the Vaoliko side. It could be e kankale ngufulkoa inga Samoa. Yeah, ke whako ma ko ya, or your parents might say, hey, me so kupe ave so ke leva e ko inga Samoa. You know, that's not considered a Vaoliko. That's more of a giving. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
love.
that's just listening to the conversation that we're having today, and I'm going to use my own personal experience. I think we've categorized everything
As a Vaoliko, yeah.
Any involvement with kupe, so
Inconvenience.
It's, oh my gosh, it's a. But I think because now that you've given us that breakdown, it's not even a burden. I think it's the experiences of different families and different individuals. Because you've mentioned loan as well. I know that there's been times that a particular family has had to reach out in that sense, because at that time hasn't been able to offer that type of money. But now I understand. I think, especially the outside New Zealanders or the ones that reside outside, they've categorized everything.
Yeah.
That it's now a problem.
And you know, touch base on le so with and Pea. Yeah, make of Vaoliko. There are Vaoliko and there are non-Vaoliko. But your tautua to your country and your family in Samoa, that's your obligation. That's your duty. It's your duty being a Samoan. Now, for example, I've seen so many fast catering, HRPP catering, special social and things like that. I have seen people pouring in tens of thousands of dollars. And yet a family member from Samoa asking, oh, can you help with our water bill that got cut? And then you criticize that. And blah, 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 blah. You know? But that's not Vaoliko. And the funniest part is that when you talk overseas, when you're so proud and mentioning your family, who are the people that's serving your family? Is your family in Samoa.
Yep.
They are the one that cut the grass every day, mow the lawn, sweep the house, lea ke kalangoa, lea ke mika mika, o whiano whasingomanga. Because I can't be saying, oh, mako ainga Samoa. I know nobody living in Samoa. Otherwise, people are like, hey, you have no family in Samoa. You know, but the reason why you're so proud of that, because you have representatives that are living in Samoa, serving the village every day.
On behalf of your family.
On behalf of your family.
And that's the other thing that I also want to, for our people, I don't know if Hana and Pea know, but the minimum wage back home, Samoa, I think it was like $2.50.
Yeah.
2 tala 50. Alokala lima Samoa ila New Zealand. That's pengalakala New Zealand.
Yeah.
Imagine living on that.
Yeah.
8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And the only thing they're probably asking for is cash power, water bill, food. And
Some kuangai for Sundays.
Yeah.
oh, but me foi konga va ai. Konga wo made ko ai ngai New Zealand.
Yes.
Sa ili mangia.
Lumanga, yes.
Wo fo ngai ka back home. E kausila inga because ako koe fo i Samoa.
Exactly.
It's
It's definitely a hot topic. But I know that we want to continue, but we're going to go into a quick break because I know it's going to get heated. Straight after the break, we're going to go into a song break. Bring It Home to Me, UB40 cover by Unique Band. It's one of our favourite jams. When we come back, we're going to continue the Talanoa this morning, Pacific Morning Show. Stay tuned.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet love and bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know I love when you lift me, but I know I've only hurt myself. Oh, baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet love and bring it all on to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You two dreams and money too. But I know that it ain't all I do for you. So bring it to me. Bring your sweet love. Bring your sweet love and bring it all on to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll always be a slave till I'm dead. I'm buried in my grave. Won't you bring it to me? Bring your sweet love and bring it all on to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh baby, bring it to me. Bring your sweet love and bring it all on to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good morning and welcome back to our Pacific Morning Show. We hope you enjoyed that song. We have had a lovely discussion this morning, so fruitful and so rich of cultural knowledge. Thank you to our beautiful founder of Lupe Before Vao Ese, Asiata. Thank you for joining us this morning. We've talked about the differences between a whālawe and the money that you give to church, and also your tautua to your family. We talked about what it means to be Samoan and how relevant Samoan culture is in countries outside of Samoa. So thank you, Asiata, for all of that. But, you know, just thinking about the discussions that we have, being a Samoan actually holds a lot of weight. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Hana. It's unique, the culture like kako. And just going back to what Asiata said earlier, that defines who you are. And which, you know, the next question to Asiata is, just before we went to break, you know, not everything that your parents ask you or whālawe. And, you know, if you could just elaborate more, like not only, well, a perfect example is say like, Hana and I are brother and sister. And if Hana was living in Samoa and she calls me, goes, bro, me se mea ngai se I whai mako pao, kongi mako cash pao. And then I would say to my children, oh, lafu se kupe ya auntie. My children then think, oh, it's whalawe. But if you explain it properly,
Yes.
That's not
Absolutely.
whalawe.
That's not whalawe. Definitely, that's not whalawe. And thank you, Anai, for wanting to clarify on that. If we teach and share the right message to our children, e pe yor kara kusi a o ole tamai tusa maonala e matua le to te ai. Teach them the correct way. Ole winga e le sfa level nga mea. You know, lang ole si kai mi a vili mai anti cash power. But then you wanted to, you know, make it more, you know, of that, just the cash power.
Make it a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Right. And that's not a whalawe. It's not a whalawe. It's called your family, your duties and your through your tautua.
Thank you for explaining that, because you know what, a lot of Samoan born overseas think that is a whalawe.
No.
And that's why they complain. That's why there's a lot of bad attitudes around it.
Whalawe, it's weddings, funerals, massive gatherings. Or Samoa lo fa pe mai wa fa sala sisi, you know, we have rules and protocols within our village. But keep in mind, we don't know what the operations within villages every day, daily. There are tours from your family to the village every week. If a whanga le whongo rengu, if I sa o ngā hatina, that we are not contribute to it to help our families, and yet they're running everywhere trying to find that. So when there is no more cash to run the car, like, you know what I mean? There's no more, even the coins, they've spent it into touring the village. Who are they turning to? They turn to us, but please, and you know, Samoan, it seems like the mentality of having a good food is towards Sundays. Unlike Asia.
We
every
have
day.
KFC, McDonald's.
See, picture that.
Yeah.
E umalelei ngā whai kupe lai Samoa, malako ngai kupe mau e ainga. E tautu ai, le kako ainga i le no. E whai mea whalangu. I just came from Samoa. Oh, kia lofa isi matu ainga isa pai kia. E whai sao whanga kaulele, e whai sao whanga mafukanga ki ngā, whai sao whanga ka mā, e whai sao whanga o le paipa. Because now dawu ko kongi le paipa.
Yeah.
So those things, we don't see that.
Yeah.
Lai makua, lai tautua na tautua. So when empty is empty, then they turn to mole lava ile maua mai lava singa selau. And you know the funny thing, they're only asking for probably $50 or $100. You know, but because the message we turn to our kids. And that's not a whalawe.
I think it's how we've interpreted the whole thing. Like it's, like, because I've had a good and a bad experience with, you know, the term whalawe. But because I don't have a clear understanding, it wasn't until I stepped foot into our motherland that's when I understand. All ngā luenga umma my dad has done prior to me arriving in Samoa, those came back to me in tenfold.
Yeah.
Every single thing my mum and dad did. It's like a little bit emotional because people just get it so wrong. But it's just the way, like, people have, like, my own siblings have, like, at some stage, you might as, you know, someone named their child after me, goes, automatic finance. They've never asked me for money. And that's of Samoa. You know, of Samoa, imagine the day that you will go back to Samoa with your children, with your husband, with your wives, your children. And then they mention your father. And then they remember your father has done so much for the village. And then ask le message le turn around, here we go again. They're asking for money. No. And I must say this, no, that's not. Let's change that mentality. Are you losing money or do you rather receive tenfolds of blessings? From Keloa or Fasamoa, esili le mga ia. You know, esili le mga ia. I don't know what's the English word for perfect English word for amana ia. But like an acknowledgement.
Le mga ia. Ngai lo sesi amea. Imagine if you get to invited into a party and then everyone gets to be acknowledged in the front and no one cares about you sitting at the back, you will go home feeling like, oh, what, did they just want to intimidate me in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Ai ole amanga ia, e siri aku ngai lo me ke maua.
And, you know, to where you're at, like, just coming back in with the tautua part you were talking about, you know, and this is the beauty of Asiata's class, is that I remember, Asiata, you took us through on that day at the different types of tautua. Now, before we say everything that's on the class, if you can say your final thoughts on tautua, and also wrapping it up, why, again, just concluding why the Samoa is relevant outside of Samoa.
Thank you. Anai, o leu Samoa, o le ala I le pule, o le tautua. Your way to leadership is through service or serving your family. Or your way to pule. Pule means matai. Your way to become a matai or to become the highest chief or the leader of your family is through your service. Now, tautua, there's a lot of tautua in Samoa, but the tautua that we are doing and involve us that lives overseas, e ngoa le tautua ai tau malili. So that we are doing it for our family in Samoa. You can still be living overseas and give it all you can to our family in Samoa. Now, don't give all you have, but what you can. Continuously, you know, little or bigger, whai lau tautua mo tātou ai ngai Samoa. E tā ua ia, and that defines who we are. O le winga foi leo lau tālau te whai atua, it is important and relevant for us to live our culture while we're living overseas. You know, no matter how much high qualifications you can get up to the moon, no matter how high is knowledge you can gain from the highest university in the world, do you know the funny part? You will still end up utilizing and using that within your community, Samoan community, Pacifica community. You know, it's like you know the folds that your flocks belongs. Wherever in the world you may find and seeking knowledge and the highest wisdom, you will know the fold that you belong, and that you will come and be acknowledged to the highest with the utmost, and practice that and use that, utilize that. So my last word of advice: don't you ever forsake and forget your anganuu and your Samoa. Aua foi le avea le tātou motu mai ma le taula ma le tātou ese mai ma Samoa. My influences in the westernized life that may causes us to lose focus and forsake about our beautiful culture. Have a good understanding about it, and I'm telling you, it's not hard. It's not hard to live. I love living it. I don't have many millions, but I always have something to provide and to do for my family. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Asiata. How inspiring was that? That was such an amazing message. Thank you for telling us what it means to be Samoan. And no, guys, it does not mean having a 685 tattoo at the back of your neck. It means... But no, hey, I'm going to get one on my knuckles soon. I'll get one on my knuckles very soon. But being Samoan means service to your family, service to your people, service to your country. And I think that's you put it in such a beautiful way for our viewers to understand. But thank you to all of our viewers tuning in this morning, bright and early. If you want to check out and join Asiata's class, please visit the website lupefofor.com. We will put the link on this video as well. And he has a 3-month course now.
Yeah, 4 months.
A 4-month course for beginners.
Yes.
Intermediate and advanced, which he teaches you different things, and you can find all the information on the website. Feel free to have a look through. If you want to sign up, you can sign up and pay on there as well. But thank you so much, Asiata. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us. And good morning, everyone. Have a great day.
And one more thing.
Oh, sorry, one more thing.
Because before we wrap up, are you guys coming with me to the opening of the Tashi market?
Of course. Yes. Yes,
Oh, yeah, there you
yes.
go.
Let's go.
That's where we're going right after.
Yes,
this.
absolutely. Reverend
Should we go?
24 was you. I can smell the barbecue from here already.
You smell what the rock is cooking.
For all of you who are wondering where the address is, 37 Farrington Street, GI. We'll see you in the next few hours. 10 a.m. We'll see you there. If you want to take a photo, TikTok, whatever, you can come around there.
And
we'll
just before we go, I just want to say thank you, Pea, thank you, Hana, and thank you
Yes.
so much, Brian, for having me on, and unfortunately,
Thanks for having me as well.
Yeah.
You know, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I wish we can swap one day. You know, one of these could.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Asiata.
Maybe after 4 months of the class I need to do. But no, it's been an awesome morning. Again, like I can't even explain, you know, in words how beautiful the Samoan language is. And thank you very much for making me understand every single day a little bit more. So, you know, it makes me love that I'm Samoan.
And also quickly, Father's Day is coming.
Oh,
Day
yes.
after tomorrow.
Yes.
And if you want ula fala for Father's Day, message through to Yae on BluwaveTV. We have quite a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
For Father's Day, new stock.
what about your watch, mate? How do I get that?
Matai, yes, we'll attach the link to get this. I love my Matai watch.
And
Happy Father's Day. And also.
Sunday, Father's Day. God bless.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Time passes by and still you're on my mind. I can't imagine living my life without you, girl. The special moment you and I can only share will always keep us together and never apart. You're my Buelena. You're so beautiful. God knows I love